At PGurus, we have been watching the Modi government for the past 10 years. And we came into being around 2016 or so. We were a website, and then, of course, now we concentrate more on videos, although the stories do appear just about the same amount. What we have done is we have looked at the hits and misses of the government of Narendra Modi for the last 10 years. This is a very objective view of what we think has been done and what needs to be done. And there is one reference in the description section that you can see to get an even more detailed look into all this stuff. So here we go. Let's first take a look at hits. The most important, the most significant, because it gave a legitimacy to the people of Jammu and Kashmir and, most importantly, Ladakh. Modification of Article 370, scrapping of Article 35A. Even though these have been scrapped on August 6, 2019, close to now 4.5 years, killings are still continuing. Even yesterday, we put out a story about one labor contractor person being killed by the terrorists in Srinagar. Very, very sad. And that is continuing, but it is much, much lesser. It's going to take time before it will be completely peaceful, but this is a very big achievement. Not only that, the economy in Jammu and Kashmir is booming now because investment is coming in, and hopefully all those dark days are behind us. The next one, construction of Ram Mandir and Pran Pratistha. This is something else. Those who were attending it said that it was a lifetime experience. Now we are going to have another thing happen. I think it's the 14th of February, if I'm not wrong. Abap's Mandir is going to be opened by or inaugurated by Narendra Modi in Abu Dhabi. This is a first because a temple of this grandeur was unheard of that it would come up in the Middle East. So now that is also going to happen. Then getting Indians back from various war zones. By the way, guys, India is one of the few countries that does fly out its citizens from danger areas. Many other countries, even including United States, they say, you went there on your own volition, you took the risk, you know how to get back. Sorry, we will see you later, bye-bye. Unless you get killed, then US will use that as a pretext to do something else. Or even sometimes they do genuinely take care of you. So it depends upon how the situation is. In 2015, it was Operation Rahat in Yemen and Operation Maitri in Nepal. 2021, from Afghanistan, Operation 𝗣𝗽𝗪 and Vande Bharat mission from during COVID. In 2022, students returned from Ukraine, Operation Ganga. In 2023, Indians were brought back from Sudan. Now, India has been doing this balancing of people between countries that India has been doing a balancing act, keeping the doors of communication open with Iran, which is a Shia country, and its adversaries, UAE and Saudi Arabia, which are Sunni countries. Ditto for Russia versus USA. The success of G20, now it has become G21. You have the additional African Union, which has become a permanent member. All that can be a feather in cap of India. Arabian Peninsula, India's sphere of influence, post the Houthi attacks on ships in the Red Sea area and Somalia pirate attacks, the Indian Navy moved in to rescue captured souls, irrespective of nationality. Buying Russian oil, another big deal. India navigated a complex geopolitical equation by importing cheap crude from Russia, converting it into petrol and diesel, and exporting the same to the West without inviting Western sanctions. That is the most important thing. It did not invite any Western sanctions. And standing up to China in the Pacific Islands, so far India has responded well to Chinese moves. This time PM Modi visited Papua New Guinea to meet with the heads of state of the Pacific Island countries, promoting 𝗪𝗏𝗃 beaches for tourism. A visit to the island by PM Modi and his videos on social media was enough to promote the island. Not a word was spoken, but Maldivians got the message that working against India's interests comes at a heavy price. Netaji's statue at India Gate. In 2022, Netaji's statue was placed, a tribute to the man who contributed to India's independence. Increase in capital expenditure. During COVID, many said to give incentives to India or doles to public like President Biden did. Instead, Modi government has consistently focused on increasing capital outlay. It was 3% in 2016-17, 3.6 in 21-22 and 4.3% in 23-24. I have some reservations on this. I would say 50-50 because it would have helped the lives of middle class people, but it definitely put a dent in their savings. That cannot be doubted. UPI, the UPI numbers in 2023 hit a new high with cumulative volume at 117.6 billion, valued at rupees 83 trillion, up 59 and 43% as compared to 2022. Vegetable vendors, bhel puri vendors, and villages have seen the benefits of UPI. One Nation, One Ration Card scheme. On August 1, 2019, One Nation, One Ration Card scheme, ONARC, facility launched as interstate ration card portability in the following 4 states. In other words, you move from one state to the other, your ration card also moves with you. You can use the same ration card. Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat are the ones that have implemented it now. The scheme is now in effect nationwide, including in Assam. The number of tax returns filed, it was 33 million in fiscal year 14, 63.3, almost doubled in fiscal year 19, and 74 million in fiscal year 23. 2/3 of the returns filed were nil returns, and top 7 states account for 60% of the non-zero head. Digitization of land records. The digital land records of 13 major states and 4 union territories have been loaded into the government's platform for coordinating infrastructure building between central ministries, states, and UTs under the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. Space policy. The number of space startups has gone up from just 1 in 2014 to 189 in 2023. The investments in Indian space startups has increased to 124.7 million in 2023. Promoting startups. According to PIB, Press Information Bureau, released on 7/12/2022, the number of recognized startups increased from 452 in 2016 to 84,012 in 2022. That's a big jump. Privatization of Air India, a major achievement because Air India was bleeding. In fact, to make the deal attractive for the Tatas, the government had to take over rupees 61,000 crore of Air India's debt and liabilities. Rise in number of airports. According to a PIB circular dated 23rd of April 2023, the number of operational airports has gone up from 74 to 148. I've been consistently saying this. I'm a huge beneficiary of this UDAN scheme because now I can fly to even small towns, tier 2, tier 3 towns, and not have to spend hours on the road or by train. That's a huge deal. Making COVID vaccine. When the COVID crisis hit us, it is human to look for medical solutions. Western companies came up with vaccines. However, the government of India insisted on producing the vaccines locally. Serum Institute contract manufacturer in India developed one by Bharat Biotech. The logistics of vaccinating over 75 crore Indians twice and thrice across states was no easy task. State governments rose to the occasion. CoWIN app and site had a proper record of citizen-wise vaccines taken with date, so there was no scope for fudging. Repatriation of antiquities to India. Prior to PM Modi's virtual meeting with Australia's leaders in 2022, Australia returned 29 antiquities to India. 2021, the US returned 248 antiquities. India Pride Project took the lead in all these things, identifying the murtis, writing to the museum, getting them collected and put in one place, and then the Indian government went and collected it from there. So it's not just the Indian government. Credit where credit is due. My naman to the founders and people who actually drive India Pride Project. During Modi's June 2023 US visit, the government decided to return more than 100 antiquities to India. Introduction of 3 new criminal laws. So all these laws that were antiquated, 150 years old, 200 years old, all of those are being updated. That's a very good thing. Also, the increased focus on Northeast, that is an ongoing process. Most important, less said, but very, very significant. The Chandrayaan 3, fulfilling the dream of 140 crore Indians. The Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft touched down on the surface of the moon after its 41-day odyssey. With this landing, India has scripted history and joined the ranks of United States, China, and the former Soviet Union, or now Russia, as the 4th nation to master the technology of soft lunar landing. Now let us take a quick look at the misses of the Modi government. You know what I'm going to talk about, but here we go anyway. Defining secularism. When the Janata Party came to power in 77, an attempt was made to define secular republic to mean a republic in which there is equal respect for all religions. This attempt failed since it was vetoed by the Congress. The BJP has failed to change laws, unlike the Congress, which focused on changing laws. Failed to give Hindus equal human rights. Hence the book, Hindus are 8th class citizens in India. Different tax laws. Scheduled tribes who have converted continue to be treated as ST for the purposes of government benefits, and in the case of Northeast, scheduled tribes even post conversion do not pay income tax. This may not be the right way to go about doing it. The 3 farm laws were in the best interest of the farmers and they were repealed because Punjab opposed it. By the way, the farmers lost out big. You know why? Because of the Ukraine war, the price of wheat almost doubled. And because the farmers were insisting on getting the minimum procurement price, the government gave this much and made so much profit on it. So this could have all been the farmers' profit if they had only passed these laws. So what can I say? Illegal Bangladeshis, Rohingyas problem. Despite government attempt to prevent Bangladeshi and Rohingya illegal immigration, it remains a problem. Attack on BJP workers post West Bengal polls, something that's a very sore topic that we are very, very sad to see that. It appears that the party has been silent about the deaths of party workers, supporters after the elections in West Bengal. How do they expect them to come back and work in 2024? I wonder. Waqf board laws. The Waqf board is subject to a different law and receives grants from the government, but Hindu religious affairs are controlled by the government. Dilly-dallying in 2G scam and National Herald. Numerous raids by the Enforcement Directorate. Where are the convictions, including 2G scam and National Herald? Equal inheritance rights for all Indian women. Currently, the inheritance rights are not equal, especially for Muslim women. The law should provide that in case of interstate succession, that is, without leaving a will, all property, movable and immovable, shall be inherited equally between female and male heirs. This is a very important thing that needs to be done as soon as possible. Labor reforms. The center circulated labor codes around 2019 and 20, but the implementation is weak. So this is where we stand today. I've tried to go through this thing. Like I said, there is a much more detailed list and that is available as a link in the description section. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.
Thank you.